He can cook a shoe and it'll taste delicious. You don't even have to bring your own, he says. And that's neat. It's Tom White. This is Teaching to the Test Pattern.
Hey, buddy, welcome to Teaching to the Test Pattern. I'm Tom White, and this is part 3 of my conversation with Daniel Knode from North Cobb High School in Metro Atlanta. Really kind of right on the, well, Metro Atlanta's grown so much, man. It's probably right in the heart of it now. I don't know why I'm saying man a lot today, but I am. Daniel and I had a great conversation in episodes 1 and 2 of this conversation where we talked about, his career, talked about getting into education and some lessons we've learned, and shared some wins in his first 4 years in the classroom. And in this one, we dig a little bit into his workspace. We talk about his studio. He just got a new, a real nice studio upgrade. Got some Blackmagic Ursa Minis as his studio cameras, and got a new TriCaster TC1. Little birdie told me. Okay, he told me that he got it from Amatrace. You should too. AMITRACE.com. Again, don't go at it alone. Learn from the best. Learn what you need from the best. And then learn how to use it from the best. AMITRACE.com. Go check them out today. Just look, if you're trying to get on that level, and you know what level I'm talking about, AMITRACE.com. Now check out the finale of my conversation with Daniel Knode from North Cobb High School.
Teaching to the Test Pattern.
So let's talk about your space. That's always something that I like sharing with other teachers is what do you have? Classroom, studio, like just kind of walk us through what your space looks like.
It's actually, one of the things I'm lucky about is I'm in a great space, I think, overall. I've got a separate classroom that'll hold about 35 kids. I have 17 small little edit bays, or 7 small little edit bays. I have 2 max in each. And then I've got some edit spaces inside the classroom. I have a small control room and then a studio almost the same size as my classroom. So I've got a large space with a lot of equipment. And Josh, I don't know how he did it, but he left me with so much gear it's my favorite thing. One of those things of, we have like 15 cameras for action level, 4 mid-level, and 10 low-level. I've got the equipment, the tripods, the lights that you can let them get out and do stuff, where other places, they don't have that much. So when I started to learn what I had, I was like, wow. In
your studio, correct me if I'm wrong, has a floating floor, right? So you can run your cables under?
Yes, it's a raised floor. Yeah. Yep. Well, by classroom, office, control room, and studio, the whole space is all raised. So
I'm
good
so
for
jealous.
Running cable. Yeah, good for running cable, but they don't clean it because they can't use their standard cleaners on it, their machines and stuff, so it doesn't get cleaned as well. So my floor always looks dirty.
I joke that I have a really raised floor, and I just run all my stuff over the raised over the drop tile.
Exactly. But this year is kind of a strange year for us because we're going into a certification. Every 10 years, you can certify your program. Our program, Josh, was one of the first ones to do certification, to be certified in the state. And we're doing recertification this year. So as part of that, I just got a brand new control room and studio equipment package. So I'm in the process now of learning an entirely new set of equipment from what I had before.
So what did you get?
We got a TriCaster TC1 for the control room for the switcher, and then as well as for prompter and graphics. And we picked up 3 Blackmagic Ursa Mini broadcast cameras.
Yeah, you're set.
2 PTZ cameras. So yeah, I'm excited to get all that going and getting it all worked out. They just installed the control room a couple of weeks ago, and they're going to finalize the install in a couple of weeks. So
what did you?
Fun thing is,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The fun thing is, I made a decision once I found out I was getting all this. We had a TriCaster 850 is our old switcher. It's about 10 years old, so it was an old one. But I decided I don't use my office very often, so I've actually taken all the old control room equipment, transferred it into my office, and I'm making a second control room.
Wow.
So we'll be one of the only places that has 2 control rooms going. So I'll have the nice, new, big, bright, fancy one. And then a backup. If something goes wrong, I can run over to the other room, load everything up, and fire it off that way. And have 2 control rooms and then do 2 different control classes at a time if I want.
Wow. That's great. That is a really cool thing. And, if you want to get real wild, you can put a NDI encoder on the secondary control room and feed it into your first control room.
Exactly. I think down the line when I have more budget room,
yeah,
that's one of the things I'm looking at is just like that. So, because I'm used to that. CNN is that way. We have everything is backed up. Mm-hmm. I was one of them that helped build that at CNN at that point. At one time, they had 8 control rooms, all of them different.
Wow.
About 10 years later, all 8 control rooms are precisely identical in every way. Same equipment, all the same equipment throughout, even the same seating arrangements throughout. So if anyone had to get up and leave and go to another location, it's all the same. You can literally get up, sit down at another machine, and not even feel like you left the room.
That's important. That's very important.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to, teaching our kids. And you, I'm assuming you apply a lot of that in your classroom as well with kind of how you laid out your control room.
Yeah, very much so. I'm like, yeah, this is very similar to how they do it in any control room situation. Here's why we have these this way, so that they're aware this is what you're going to see when you walk in almost anywhere.
So I think I know the answer to this next one, but what's your favorite part of your workspace?
Well, honestly, it's all the gear. Like I said, that in itself, having everything that they need and not having to buy a whole lot when I first got in was huge. And now it's just keeping up with that and trying to maintain that will be the challenge to keep all that going. So
cool.
But now the new control room, we'll see. I love the new control room. It looks nice, and it's bringing it up to where I was when I left CNN of what I was expecting. So,
and you're going to love that TC1. You're going to absolutely love that thing and what you can do with it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So as we start to close, what are 3 things that people don't know about what you have to do at North Cobb High School?
I don't know. I guess one of them is that I'm always confronted with, I think we all are as broadcast teachers, honestly, is how long it actually takes to edit an event together to look and sound nice. Mm-hmm. We get that a lot. We all get the, hey, can you record this for us? Can you do this or that? And the prep work for it and how long it takes to put it together oftentimes surprises them because they're like, well, can't you record it today and put it out tonight? Not on a 3-camera shoot unless I've got 4 people and we're punching it live. Yeah. That oftentimes surprises them how long it takes to put something together. And then also the cost of equipment. That floors people, that kind of thing. It's like I said, I got the new control room in the studio. I haven't put all the numbers together, but we're probably north of $80,000 for what it costs to put that room together. So, when I walk in and say, you got to take care of my cameras here. Here's why. This little camera is $500 and this camera is $1,000 and this one is $2,000. The look on their faces, on the students' faces alone is surprising. So,
and you have to temper that a little bit sometimes too, because I've had kids who are like, I don't want to touch that camera. It's like, you're going to be okay. Just don't be stupid.
Yeah, exactly that. But it gives them a healthy respect for it when they know as part of my syllabus, they have to sign off on, if I break it, I'm paying for it.
Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking for this year? I mean, have you started planning yet? Or are you just kind of wait and see? I mean, what's it look like in your classroom this year, kind of not knowing what's up?
I've kind of been planning for it, but I don't know. So a lot of what I've been doing right now has been all summer planning out, okay, taking what I've done and how can I turn this into virtual if I have to? Because I'm worried that at some point we're just going to all have to go virtual again at some point possibly. And if that's the case, how am I going to do that so that I'm ready for it this time? Because the last one, I barely had enough time to turn around, come up with something, and I had to post it every single day. And it's really hard for us as video teachers. I think a lot of folks miss it. We are very hands-on. My program is, like I said, it's on Monday. By Friday, you're going to have done it and turned in a project. Yeah. How do you do that virtually when they don't have cameras? They don't have the editing software to do that. They don't have they can't do that if they don't have the gear. And I've got a lot of kids who don't even have internet access sometimes. Mm-hmm. That really affects how we teach. So having to come up with, okay, how do I teach you shot composition? How do I teach you lighting without you actually having something to light with? Is what that's been a lot of what it's been this year, is preparing for what might come. Yeah. Because like I said, 4 years in, I kind of have my set. Here's how I'm going to do it. It works. Now I've just got to tweak it out to the next level. But my level 2s and 3s, they've got a big change this year because my level 2s lost. This is my big problem, I think. We had level 1, January, February, you're getting your basics in. Here's how to edit. Here's Adobe. Here's how to do something in Adobe. Here's the camera. Here's how to use it. Here's how to set up a tripod. Normally, from March to May, they have done 10, 15 projects, and they've got a lot of experience under their belt of how to use that camera, how to edit. They've edited a bunch of stuff. They couldn't edit a thing for 3 months. Mm-hmm. So I've got level 2s coming in who've learned how to edit, but haven't edited. They didn't edit enough to even know what they were doing. So I'm having to revamp my level 2 and cut out a lot of things and put back what was there before to kind of help change that gap.
Yeah, I think
so. I'm doing a lot of that too.
I think spring of 2020 is going to have an impact on us for 4 or 5 years. I really do think that it's going to change a lot of things for us. Is there anything that you would say to someone who just left a newsroom and is headed to a classroom in 2-3 weeks? Is there anything that you would tell them, some advice?
I think basic advice is be yourself, connect with the kids, and enjoy it in a lot of ways. One of the things, especially if you're new to it and you're still figuring it out, they like to hear some stories. Don't tell too many, but give them, here's why it's important, and show them why, and explain to them, here's why we do what we do. And a lot of times that in and of itself just gives them that, oh, wow, I had never thought about that. You know, people love to hear your story, your war stories in a sense. So I think that, and just be comfortable and don't worry. You know what you know. You don't know what you don't know, and just teach them what you know. I'm not a writer. I'm not a producer. That area of my program right now is probably the lower part of the program. But my kids know how to do solid camera work, how to light well, because how to do the technical side, because that's what I'm teaching, because that's what I knew to start. You know, they all might have wanted to do film. I was showing them how to do live broadcast because that's what I know.
Yep.
So focus on that and you'll be good.
Excellent. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for your time and sharing, you know, your story and your advice and just, you know, hopefully someone who just went for an interview last week is going to catch this and have a little bit another bullet in the gun when they head into the classroom, because
exactly
you need all you can get, so to speak.
And just when you think it can't be any weirder, it will get weirder. That's starting off with no prep time and no idea what I was doing in my first year. We literally, for my 3 years that I've been there, it's been something. Literally, I've had senior teachers come up to me and go, "We've never had anything like this happen before. I don't think we'll ever have," you know, literally over the COVID stuff hit. And it's like, what next? Mm-hmm. But it will get weird.
I look around sometimes and go, how did I end up here? There's a conversation that I'm having or I'm overhearing or what have you. And it's like, there's no way that in my trajectory of life, I was predicted to end up here.
Exactly.
So thank you again, and have a great day.
Yep. Great. Thank you. Glad to do it.
Teaching to the test pattern.
We probably all had those mental conversations where we look around and go, how did I end up here? It's amazing some of the stuff that your students will talk about or have questions about or will do in a classroom. And oftentimes those are your favorite parts. Thank you again to Daniel for his time. Thank you for your time to listen. And again, I know it sounds like I'm just pushing them to push them, but AMITRACE.com. I've looked at a lot of companies, talked with a lot of people, and I really haven't found anyone that kind of has the heart for education and has the ability to integrate what your dreams and goals are into a workflow that is simple enough for you to do, but also simple enough for you to teach your students. So go check them out, Amatrace, AMITRACE.com. Thank you to them for their continued support, and thanks to you for listening to Teaching to the Test Pattern. Have a great day, and as always, go make some awesome.
Teaching to the Test Pattern.